From our studio in Georgetown, this is the TV Delmarva Channel 14 News at 4.
Good day, Delmarva. Reporter Rob Petrie here for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Straight ahead, breaking news. Legislation has been introduced to suspend the gas tax in Delaware. We talk to the bill's sponsor and get reaction from residents. And it's day 3 of the confirmation hearings for Biden's Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson. And Surf Bagel is making its way to Milford. These stories and more on the way, but weather first with Hunter Alton.
Good Wednesday, Delmarva. Well, we did start off the day with some sunshine across the region, but that quickly got replaced with plenty of cloud cover just ahead of our storm system that is starting to deliver some rain this afternoon across areas of the mid-Atlantic states. Taking a live look outside here at TV Delmarva Studios in Georgetown, Delaware. We got plenty of those gray skies. We are seeing a couple of showers at this hour, and actually a little bit of some cooler temperatures too. Currently 50 degrees here in Georgetown. Take a look at some satellite and radar. You can see that first initial wave of precipitation moving across areas of Delmarva early this afternoon. We're actually going to be looking at several waves of precipitation moving through the region tonight and expecting to pick up in intensity as well. Further off towards our west in the Ohio Valley are starting to see an outbreak of some severe thunderstorms with some damaging winds and some large hail. This is the same storm system that brought the devastating tornadoes the past 2 days across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama as well. But the good news is it's going to leave that severe threat behind once it makes our way into the region going into your Thursday. Let's have a look at those temperatures elsewhere on Delmarva at this hour. We're starting to see signs of that warm front beginning to lift northward across areas of southern Delmarva. Currently 55 right now in Salisbury, 56 for Pocomoke City, 59 for Exmoor, 57 for Cape Charles, a little bit further north in Easton at 55, 52 for Centreville. We're in the upper 40s in Dover at 49, and 53 and 52 degrees all the way up north in Wilmington and Newark. Take a look at some sustained winds. Generally have been right out of the east, sustained anywhere between about 8 and 12 miles per hour. But we are seeing some stronger wind gusts, especially here in Georgetown, gusting the 22 miles per hour from the east, 17 for Salisbury, 16 for Ocean City, 24 miles per hour in Dover, and 22 for Centreville and Easton. Now we are going to be looking at an increase in that precipitation during the overnight hours tonight and continuing into Thursday, where we also could be looking at a couple of embedded thunderstorms as well. But a much drier weekend is in store, and I'll have the full details on your pinpoint weather forecast here in just a little while.
At this time, we bring you breaking news. Legislation has been introduced to suspend the gas tax here in Delaware. The bill, which was introduced on Tuesday, would institute a 30-day gas tax holiday that, if passed, would see gas prices drop by about 22 cents per gallon. We got the chance to sit down with the bill's primary sponsor, Republican State Senator Brian Pettyjohn.
You know, we've seen that all the way from Fenwick Island, crossing over to Ocean City, all the way up, all the way west, and then all the way up to Elkton, you know, outside of Newark. We're hearing people from Delaware that are going over to Maryland to save a significant amount of money, especially businesses that are operating in those areas and have fleets. They're going over there for fuel right now. So it is something that has concerned us to the point where I went ahead and drafted a bill to give, just like Maryland, a 30-day holiday on our motor fuel tax here in Delaware. Really what we're looking to do, again, is provide relief to individuals and families and businesses there at the gas pump. Everybody's feeling the pinch right now when it comes to refueling their vehicles.
The proposal comes after Maryland suspended their own gas tax. Senator Pettyjohn says he's hopeful the bill will gain bipartisan support.
We haven't gotten any Democrats to join it. We do have sponsors from Republican caucuses in both chambers. I believe our entire caucus here in the Senate has joined in, as well as several members of the House Republican caucus as well. So, you know, this is something, again, it was a bipartisan measure over in Maryland. I don't see why it can't be a bipartisan measure over here in Delaware. We have heard some concerns from our Department of Transportation, however, that because it is written into our Delaware state code, our Delaware laws, that we cannot reduce the gas tax. Well, we change laws all the time, so we took that provision out, that we just struck that whole provision of the motor fuel tax code here in Delaware. But there is some concern from the Department of Transportation that it could affect the rates that we pay for our bonds when we go out to the bond market later on this year for a little over $200 million. But that's something that some attorneys are saying, no, we will be fine as long as we allocate money that was lost out of our general fund, out of some of the excesses that we have right now. I mean, DFAC just came out over $200 million more again for the next for this fiscal year and next fiscal year. So we definitely have some one-time money that we can spend to help families and help businesses here in Delaware. And that's what we're looking to do with this bill.
Now, in order for the bill to pass, Democrats will have to be on board. Now, we got a chance to talk to some Sussex Countyans at a local gas station this morning who demanded Democrats pass this legislation to ease the pain at the pump.
I say all the time I'm really concerned about people who are struggling to make ends meet. How do they do it? You know, I feel fortunate because we're in a little bit better place than when we were younger. But, you know, so I worry about people who can't make ends meet. And, you know, I understand why gas is going up right now. I understand what's going on in Ukraine, but if there's anything that can be done to help.
So Democrats here in the state of Delaware should pass this bill to suspend the gas tax.
Why is it always fall on the Democrats to do the right thing? Sorry. That's how I feel.
The bill is in its very early stages and has yet to be assigned a number or a committee. Meanwhile, Senator Chris Coons pledged his support for President Biden's Supreme Court pick, Ketanji Brown Jackson, praising her time as a judge, calling her, quote, judicious and even-handed.
I know we've walked through just a few cases today now. In some ways, we've only scratched the surface of your decade and the more than 570 opinions you've written. But it's clear to me from what I've reviewed and from just this sample that, as we also heard from colleagues, from conservative lawyers, from judges who wrote to the committee, that you are judicious and even-handed, that you have a demonstrated record of excellence, that you adjudicate based on the facts and the law and not as an advocate, activist, or partisan. And I encourage my colleagues who want to know what kind of a justice you'll be to take a fair and even-handed look at your record, at your impartiality, and at your methodology. Your experience is extensive and broad. Your commitment to follow the law impartially and without the influence of politics is evident in your record. Your keen legal mind, judicial temperament, and impeccable character are plain to all. As Judge Griffith told this committee in a review of your record makes clear, you've demonstrated that the way you approach cases is based on the law and not on some political agenda. You understand the reason why the robes of our federal judges are black, not red or blue. The American justice system, as many have said, is rooted in the impartiality, the independence, and the reliability of our federal judicial system. It is one of the most critical bulwarks of our system of ordered liberty. No wonder that when you came before this body to be confirmed for the district court, then the circuit court, you earned and received bipartisan support.
Well, Governor John Carney on Wednesday announcing that state agencies will begin accepting applications to loan or grant money for drinking water and wastewater system improvements across the first state. The bipartisan infrastructure law championed by Delaware's congressional delegation is a once-in-a-generation commitment to improving roads, bridges, transit, water and wastewater systems, broadband energy, along with several other infrastructure areas. On Wednesday, Governor Carney toured a City of Newark water facility that used funding from the state to construct a 250,000-gallon storage tank, install a containment removal system, and complete plant building upgrades. With Delaware's $350 million for clean water and drinking water from the federal bipartisan infrastructure law, more money will be available for the next 5 years for the types of water and wastewater projects. Coming up, Surf Bagel is making its way to Milford. Big news, more details on the way. Don't go away. Surf Bagel is preparing to open up shop in downtown Milford. The popular bagel and sandwich chain announced plans to open its third location in, you guessed it, Milford. The new location will open up shop next to arenas on Northeast Front Street. Construction is expected to begin this summer, with a grand opening projected for sometime before the end of the year. Well, it's looking like we're in store for warmer but wet conditions tonight as we get a preview of your pinpoint weather forecast with Hunter Alton.
The rain is here and will be picking up in intensity once we get into the overnight hours. Tonight, rain will be heavy at times throughout the overnight hours and then again during the late morning hours on Thursday. Now, don't be surprised to hear a couple rumbles of thunder as well, and we will dry out during this coming weekend with a cool down along with it. Just how much rain are we expecting tonight and tomorrow? I'll let you know when we come back here on TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. All right, Delmarva, I hope you're ready for a mild but very dreary night ahead as we're starting to see a little bit of that precipitation moving into the region now. But going into the overnight hours, we're going to be looking at increasing those chances with periods of rain, and some of that rain will be heavy at times too. Temperatures, though, not really going to change all that much, all thanks to a warm front moving through. 56 to 60 degrees. Going to be breezy at times too, with the wind switching towards the south between 10 to 15 miles per hour. And just in the overnight hours alone, we could be looking at rainfall amounts anywhere between a half inch to even a full inch across areas of Delmarva. Take a look at futurecast rest of the overnight hours into the day on Thursday. This is 8 o'clock this evening. We got the first initial batch of precipitation moving well off of our coast. We're still going to be looking at some areas of some scattered showers. Temperatures hanging around in the mid and upper 50s. But by the time we get closer to midnight, we're going to be looking at another surge of precipitation from the west. And it's going to be a little bit heavier too. The heaviest rainfall during the nighttime hours is going to be anywhere between 10 p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning, where we could be looking at some moderate to even some heavy rates of rainfall moving through. Temperatures are actually going to be constantly warming up throughout the overnight hours to the mid 60s by tomorrow morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, that batch of precipitation is moving well off of our coast. We're still looking at areas of some scattered showers. Temperatures have now warmed up into the lower 60s, but waking up tomorrow morning, we're still going to be seeing some batches here and there of some scattered showers and some, even a few embedded thunderstorms as well. But take a look at these temperatures waking up tomorrow morning. Very mild, 65 and even 66 degrees across areas of central Delmarva. We do get a little bit of a break from the heavier precipitation during the morning hours, but going into the late morning hours, though, we're going to be looking at another surge of precipitation from the south, and this one's going to be even heavier too. You notice a lot of these areas of these yellows, oranges, and even some reds showing up. Could be a couple of embedded thunderstorms within this batch of precipitation as it lifts northward towards the noon o'clock hour. We got areas of some heavy rainfall. We could be looking at rates as much as an inch per hour, depending if a lot of these storms begin to train across areas of central and southern Delmarva. Then going into the mid-afternoon hours, we're going to be looking at still some isolated rain chances here and there. Temperatures still in the mid-60s for the most part, but by the time we get to 9 o'clock, the bulk of the precipitation will be ending, but we're still going to be dealing with some isolated rain chances all the way into Friday morning. Take a look at the forecasted rainfall amounts across areas of Delmarva, generally looking about 3/4 of an inch to even as much as an inch and a half. We'll have to watch to see where this banding sets up across areas of central and southern Delmarva, but some areas could be looking as much as an inch and a half of rain by Friday morning. Thursday forecast overall, periods of rain. That rain will be heavy at times as well, but we have some very mild temperatures, 65 to 70 degrees. Still going to be breezy at times too from the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour, and total rainfall accumulations even continuing from the overnight hours, anywhere between 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a half across areas of Delmarva. Well, at least the good news is with a bunch of rain in the forecast for tomorrow, it's going to keep our allergen index way down. We're only looking at a level 3 out of 12 with the allergens mostly in the form of juniper, maple, and elm. So we do get a break from the allergies tomorrow, but these will likely go back to those high levels by this weekend. Take a look at the marine conditions for your Thursday. Beginning with the Atlantic, we got periods of rain, 60 degrees, winds from the south, 15 to 25 miles per hour. And we got some larger swell too, of 3 to 6 feet on the Atlantic. Take a look at the Delaware Bay. We got periods of rain, 64 degrees, winds from the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour with seas of 1 to 2 feet. And then the Chesapeake Bay. Periods of rain as well, 65 degrees, winds from the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And seas as well with 1 to 2 feet. Now, going into the overnight hours tomorrow night, we're still going to be dealing with some scattered showers early, but we are going to be finally clearing out with some mostly cloudy skies just after midnight. Overnight lows too, much cooler, 48 to 52 degrees with some light winds from the west between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Now, let's take a look at that extended outlook. Once we get past Thursday, we're going to be looking at a more drier weather pattern and as well as much cooler conditions too. Even though this weekend we're going to be looking at mostly sunny to partly sunny skies, but you're going to be noticing a little bit cooler temperatures too, getting to only 51 degrees by Sunday, which is a few degrees below average. And those cooler conditions will be continuing into the start of the work week next week from Monday and Tuesday of 50 and 51 degrees. But by the time we get to Wednesday of next week, we're starting to warm things up once again, getting back to near 60 degrees with mostly cloudy skies.
Coming up, we take a look at a new Feeding the Economy agricultural report and how it reflects on the economy. More details straight ahead. Don't go away. Well, today, 30 food and agriculture groups released the 6th annual Feeding the Economy report. That's a historic farm-to-fork economic analysis revealing how these sectors influence the local and broader United States economies. And as we know, right here in Delaware, our leading industry is the agricultural industry. 2 years into the COVID-19 pandemic, this year's study highlights how the industries remain resilient to provide Americans with jobs, economic opportunity, and safe food for Delaware families. The economic impact study released today shows that 17.77% of the nation's economy and roughly 29.14% of American jobs are linked to the food and agricultural sectors either directly or indirectly. Additionally, the analysis broke down the food and agricultural sector's economic impact by state. You can find the full report at feedingtheeconomy.com.
Weather Classroom is sponsored by No Nonsense Office Machines, committed to providing quality products and services with over 15 years of experience here in Sussex County. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's weather lesson, we will be going over one of the most crucial devices that you can have in your home to protect not only yourself and your family, especially during severe weather, is a Noaa weather radio. Now, a Noaa weather radio, all hazards, or NWR for short, is a nationwide network of radio stations broadcasting continuous weather information directly from the nearest National Weather Service office. NWR broadcasts official weather service warnings, watches, forecasts, and any other hazardous information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Working with the Federal Communication Commission's FCC Emergency Alert System, NWR is a all-hazards radio network, making it your single source for comprehensive weather and emergency information in conjunction with the federal, state, and local emergency managers and any other public officials. NWR also broadcasts warnings and post-event information for all different types of weather hazards, including such as earthquakes, avalanches, environmental concerns like with chemical releases or oil spills, and even public safety such as Amber Alerts or 911 telephone outages. Known for the voice of NOAA's National Weather Service, NWR is provided as a public service by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, part of the Department of Commerce. NWR includes more than 1,000 transmitters covering all 50 states, adjacent coastal waters, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the U.S. Pacific Territories. NWR requires a special radio just like this Midland USA radio that they provide as a receiver or a scanner capable of picking up the signal. Broadcasts are also found in the VHF public service band at 7 different frequencies. And very soon you'll be able to have the chance to win one of these devices over the course of the next few months from us here at the TV Delmarva Weather Center.
Well, that about does it for us today, Delmarva. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at TV Delmarva and on our website, tvdelmarva.com, for real-time news and weather updates. And while you're there, be sure to sign our petition calling on the major cable providers to carry TV Delmarva on their platforms so we can provide this kind of hard-hitting local programming to all of Delmarva. Until next time, I'm Rob Petrie reporting for TV Delmarva, Channel 14 News.